let's roll. So many things I'm fired up about. I'm standing behind the people there. So many things I'm fired up about this week, guys. We had a crazy good week. Crazy good week. It's crazy. The rest of the world is losing their mind, but you guys are going out and performing, and that is awesome. I'm so proud of you. That's why I got so many guests with me today, because I want you to hear the stuff they're doing that's working out there. You know, when you look at great teams adapt and overcome. That's what they do. They adapt and they overcome. And that's what you guys are doing. We're seeing that all over the Alliance. I was just going through Band and seeing Michelle Alleman over 24 apps this week. Seeing Marcus Richardson over 20,000 this week. Seeing Belle Krause over 20,000 this week. Making it happen, adapting to the circumstances that we're facing and overcoming. That's awesome. And that's why I got some of the winners on today with me. I'm going to let them share a little bit, and you can hear straight from them what's going on. Some other stuff I'm super fired up about: the Andy Riddle Zoom yesterday at 5 p.m. If you did not see that, we're going to release the video from that soon. They were cleaning it up and editing a few things on it, but we're going to release that video soon. That was awesome. Like, I don't know about you, but I know me, when I got off of that, I had goosebumps just thinking about the doors that are open to us now. And that's some of the things I want you to hear from these folks too. And then with the social media leads, how that has taken off. Absolutely incredible. And the ability we have now, if you'll take them anywhere they come in a state, being able to get them to you for $10 a pop, that's crazy. I put the link up for those are called the Bang Bang leads that you see on the band. I put the link up for that. Jump in on that. Keep it in addition to your GMR. That's what we do. We keep the GMR because we got to keep the direct mail rolling, and then add that. Oh my goodness, opening up some crazy doors. Jason Aversa, I saw you, man, out there, not only helping with the life insurance, but also getting the Medicare stuff taken care of. Man, I'm so proud of you. We're going to have the leaderboards here in just a little bit. A couple of housekeeping things before I get my guests chatting with you. First of all, for e-apps, we are doing a ton of e-apps now, obviously, right? So with e-apps, the data feed from the carrier isn't always great on the leaderboards. So when you write e-apps at the end of the week, being Thursday at 5, that's when the weekends for the leaderboards for Monday. If you will, by 10 a.m., email your e-app clients and premium volume. Email that into Samantha saying so we can make sure we get you recognized on the leaderboard, because I know some of the numbers on the leaderboard this week are lower than what you actually did, and that's just because the carriers don't report the e-apps as good as they do the paper apps. All right, so while we're getting the leaderboards ready, I'm going to go ahead and turn my screen off because I want you to hear from Sean Quigley. Sean is and actually everybody else, Jeremico, Beal, Castile, if you guys will all stop video. That way we can get Sean on the main screen here. Guys, here's what I want you to hear from Sean. Sean, he's just one of those people that is on fire now. Something changed inside of him. And I love seeing that, because it's one of those things that just like, it fills my faith tank up, that at any point, anybody can flip that switch and go crazy. That's what he's been doing. And that's why I want you to hear straight from him. Sean, I'm gonna let you turn over, buddy. Light them up. Tell them what's going on in your mind. Tell them what you think the things that changed in you are. Tell them where you're at. Tell them what you're thinking moving forward. I love the picture you posted of all the apps you wrote last week. That was powerful, man. So I'm gonna turn it over to you for a little bit and let them listen to you, buddy.
Awesome, Stephen. Thank you so much. Obviously, I thank Stephen for just believing in me and keep encouraging me. I've been dragging my tail for too long, but we're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what we are doing. Thanks to Albright for him not being scared and creating such a great opportunity when people can't work. I'm at home. My girlfriend's at home, so it's kind of challenging us both being in the same place, but we're able to help all these people out. Thank you to Hutch. He doesn't put up with any of my complaining and whining, and I appreciate that, because without him, I wouldn't be here where I'm at. So a couple things that have changed for me is I got really, when Patzer was talking about being honest with himself about what he was doing and the results he wasn't getting, it took a couple weeks for me to keep hearing it and hearing it and hearing it. but just getting back to the basics, mastering the things that we are in control of. So the reading is, I've been reading at least once a day, if not twice. Sometimes I'll sneak like 15 minutes in the car. It's crazy. So reading. This book right here, Brian Tracy's Goals. If you have not read this book, it will, in the first like 6 pages, it'll change your life. So read that book. Started leveraging my assets. I have to write everything down because I'm a crazy person and I'll start talking about some squirrel. So leveraging my assets. You know, we've got such a strong Davies Nation is the best team. Use the people that are available to you. Began putting an accountability system in place before I needed it. I've been reaching out to Evan Patzer and Austin Heater and obviously Stephen and Hutch, and just keeping them aware of what I'm doing. I'm over communicating, and they're responding and they're giving me direction, and I'm listening to what they're telling me to do. I don't know anything. I just show up and do what they tell me to do. So you can put your face where mine is and you can have the same exact result. I got tired of watching everyone else winning and not me. And it was making me mad. I know I have to watch my mouth because I have a dirty mouth. But it was making me really mad. And I was like, gosh, why are they winning and I'm not winning? So I started working it like a job. Like I set my alarm and I got up as if I was going to have to leave my house and go to a building. That's huge. I got tired of struggling and just tired of just getting by, grinding out a living. Like that's not what we were created to do. We were created to thrive, and right now is the best time to thrive. Get serious about your schedule. Get serious about this being a job. There are people literally dying to talk to us. We have urgency. We have the need, and we've got the resources. Work the leads. Work these new Facebook leads. It's crazy. If you guys weren't on the call last night, it's bananas. These people are buying stuff over the phone. I mean, like, hey, you just clicked on a link and you're talking to them and then you're writing an app. And then I just want to thank everyone for allowing me to kind of steal everything. Brandon, I've been stealing all your Facebook stuff. I know you're not mad, but I'm asking for forgiveness in advance. Evan, Brandon Lawrence, Kim and Roger Strader, thank you for pushing me. Jeremico, Mimi, Austin, Billa, and Ada Crane. I mean, you guys do more than you think you do. So this is just coming from somebody who was in the background listening and now implementing what you guys are talking about. Thank you. I appreciate it. That's all I got. Thank you, Stephen.
You bet, buddy. I am so proud of you, man. Hutch told me, I want to say about 3 weeks ago, he said that Quigley has changed who he is inside, and watch what's going to happen next. And so it's just been awesome to have had that conversation with Hutch and then to watch it happen. I'm like, it is happening. He did change inside. He's doing massive things. I know it's only going to get better and better. You got the mojo and the momentum right now, and I'm proud of you, dude. Speaking of Beal, let's go to Brandon Beal. Brandon had a massive week this week. We're going to read the leaderboards in a minute, but Brandon, walk us through what's going on in your mind, where your heart's at, what you're thinking, what you're seeing, brother.
Steven, can you hear me loud and clear, man?
Loud and clear, Bo.
Awesome. Thanks so much. Again, I say this every time you give me the opportunity to speak to the team. I don't take this lightly. This is, especially the times that we're in right now, I think we all need to come together more like we have been, and sharing our successes and even sharing our failures too, because that's really how you learn, is from your failure. But there's only like 2 people on this call who know, and that's Steven is one and Ed Soto is the other one, that Ashley and I have been battling some crazy adversity, contrary to what the numbers say. And we're trying to fight through it. And Steven, you and I have talked multiple times. And I think maybe not the last Monday call, but the one before, how, nothing good is downhill. Everything you want is uphill. You know what I mean? So I'm going to have that uphill battle no matter what. But anyway, this was a big month for Ashley and me. We submitted over $89,622 in the month of March. And we issued so far about $10,743. That's as of numbers today. So we're having a very, very good month. We're blessed. But I think what changed, I wouldn't say changed, I just kind of re-implemented something, and it's really simple. It's nothing crazy. It's whether you think you can or whether you think you can't. Either way, you're right. That was by Henry Ford, right? And I think, and I know that eventually Ashley and I will be, outside of Andy Albright, the biggest team the Alliance has ever seen. It's just a matter of time. It may not be tomorrow, may not be next year, may not be 5 years, but it's going to happen. And I think that. So I know that's what's going to happen in my heart, in my heart of hearts. And the other thing too is I've switched over. We teach people, you know, $100 a month, annualized premium. You're looking at about $500 a pop, and that's awesome. But like I spoke at the boot camp when Riddle was in North Carolina, you know, there's nothing wrong with, you know, hitting some singles and doubles, but why not shoot for the fences? Why not, you know, swing for the fences and shoot the 3-pointer and the slam dunks and go for the Hail Mary touchdown pass? You know what I mean? I'm really wanting to just stop thinking pennies and start thinking millions. You know what I mean? Because we're in, especially the times we're in right now, guys and gals, like, people need us. People need what we have, whether it's tax-free or tax-deferred retirement, whether it's final expense of mortgage protection, accidental, med sup, med event, it doesn't matter. They need what we have. People are freaking out right now, like Steven just said. People are freaking out right now, and we're over here busting our hump. We're working, right? We are working. We're putting our nose to the grindstone, and we're going to work. And in doing so, I think this time is really going to determine, I'm sorry if I'm going to offend anyone, but this is a time where we're going to find out who the real men are, who the real women are. And I'll be honest, like, yeah, I wear my Superman hat to remind myself that because I dial today, and you're going to get rejected. We're all going to get punched in the mouth, but I want those rejections to bounce off me like Superman's and his bullets, right? So, but this is a time we're going to find out who's who's going to step up to the plate, who's going to swing, or who's just going to go down looking. You know what I mean? And I think Fitz allowed me the opportunity to speak to his team late last night, and I was truly honored that he asked me to do that. And one of the things that I took away from that was the mere fact that here's a man who's made umpteen millions of dollars over his career, but he wants to get better. And just by looking at the leaderboard, he sees Ashley and I on the leaderboard. He reaches out to us and asks, you know, what are we doing? What are we saying? How are we doing all these things over the phone or via webcam or Zoom or Facebook Messenger or whatever? You know, the mere fact that he did that lets me know that no matter how much you make, no matter how big your team is, you should always be reaching out. You should always be asking the person who's getting it done, how are they getting it done, right? I think if there's any one thing that I can add to this call, Stephen, if you allow me, I'm no different. Like when this coronavirus first hit, California was one of the first states to go into a shutdown mode, right? So I didn't panic, but I'm just like, babe, what are we gonna do? Like I'm on my way to Vegas, and then I get a flight gets delayed, and then that same flight gets canceled. And now I had to drive an hour and a half back home to drive 4.5 hours to Vegas. But then I'm listening to the news, Vegas isn't letting people in or out of the city. So I'm like, and I got 10 appointments. But I knew I kept my mind right, and I kept, you know, speaking things into existence. And no more than 5 minutes later, I have a guy telling me he wants to do a $150,000 IUL. And I pull my car over, pull into a Burger King, and we do it, you know, via Zoom like we are right now. So, I mean, don't wait and try and figure out, okay, what am I going to do? How am I going to do it? Reach out for help, man. One of the best resources we have is band. I mean, Steven said it earlier. Bell Krause is killing it right now. Michelle Allman is killing it right now. You know, I see Mike Hartlieb's name up there a lot. Sean Quigley's killing it right now. I mean, there's people that are doing it. Don't sit back and wait for the hours and the days and the weeks and the months to go by. Before you know it, 12 weeks, 90 days have gone by, and you're still trying to figure out how you're going to do a telesale instead of going out on band, seeing who's doing it, and possibly shooting that person a quick message, get their phone number, and figure out what they're doing. Like, I'm sorry if I'm offending anyone, but like, we have the tools and the resources. Don't just sit back and wait. Don't play defense. Let's play offense. I hated playing defense. I'm an offensive player. Like, I hate defense. But that's pretty much what Ashley and I have been doing. We've changed our thinking again. and just trying to get more creative, Stephen, on what we're doing. We're trying to get more creative in how we're going to get things done. And just because it's a little bit different now doesn't mean it's a different strategy, but the numbers are going to shift a little bit, but the work doesn't. You know what I mean? Now, Fitz made a good point last night. He and Heather, they said, we teach 20, 30, 40 appointments a week, in person. But now we're in a time where we can actually do 20, 30 appointments in a day on a phone call, just doing a couple phone calls. You know what I mean? So I think that's really awesome. That's all I got, Stephen. I don't want to take too much of, everyone else's time, but thanks for having me on, man. I really do appreciate it.
Am I back? I'm still getting used to the transitions. That's awesome, dude. I'm so proud of you. So proud of you and Ashley. And you're right. Crisis times, that reveals who we have become up to that point. That's why I prep so hard every day, because I never know what's going to come up, but I want to be ready. Does that make sense? That's why I read every day. That's why I put positive stuff in you every day. That's why I get around people, even if it's just over Zoom, that are doing it like you're talking about. I got to keep myself around those people because I don't know what's next. Does that make sense? I do know that there'll be a next. I know that this current crisis will pass, but I know that there'll be another one. And I got to be ready. Does that make sense? Because this reveals what's already inside us. It's like once you're in the ring, in the fight, it's too late to work out. Does that make sense? It's too late. Drop down, do a couple push-ups, and be ready for the fight. No, that happens before. And that's why I prep every day, just knowing that there will be something else that we're going to have to lead ourselves through. We're going to have to lead the team through and lead our families through. There'll be something else. So we got to prep every day. I'm so proud of you. It's obvious that you have been doing the prep. I got the leaderboards. We'll read those in just a minute. In fact, let's go and do that now. And then I'll switch to my other two guests. We'll start with all producers over 1,000. Start with Mimi Ramiro, $1,035.96. And I will say, I know that these are probably low because we don't have all the e-apps because the carriers don't get us that data good. So that's why I was saying earlier, email that in every week so that we know what's getting written out there. Let's see. Let's go to Neil Barley, $1,175.64. Roxana Lau, $1,241.76. Brendan Hopper, $1,884. I know he has written a bunch more business. Dude, I really, really enjoyed our chat the other day. I know you're going to do some big things. Sabrina Floyd, $2,380.56. Sean Quigley, $2,389.32. Eric and Cheryl Lardy, $2,475.36. Janice Prysock, $2,829.72. Vanessa Davis, $2,968.44. Rogers and Kim Strotter, $3,159.12. Erica Hibler, $3,600. Irma Moss Bryant, $3,637.20. Austin Heater, $4,128.84. Diana Castile, $4,291.20. Jeremigo Edwards, $6,296.52. Evan Patzer, $8,611.08. Billy Crane, holy crap, 17 applications. Well, you are about to light up the world because the averages always work out. 17 applications for $8,811.48. And if you're new, the reason I say you're about to light it up because I know how the averages work. That's an average low app there for 17 apps. But what that means is he's got some huge ones about to hit because that's just how this a lot, the averages, how they work. So I'm so excited for it. 17 apps. That's putting in work, dude. I'm proud of you. Mark Hutchison, $11,194.08. And Brandon and Ashley Beal, number one last week, $70,655.78. Way to go, man. So proud of you guys. Top 5 key leaders and above. Rogers and Kim Strotter, their key leader team, $10,004.76. Number 4 would be my group outside of all key leader legs, $10,214.16. Number 3 would be Mr. Soto, outside of his key leader legs, another $12,613.32. Number 2, Mark and Shannon Hutchison, $14,759.04. And no surprise who's number 1, Brandon and Ashley Beal, their key leader leg, dominant, over 70,000 this week. IULs for the week, Eric and Cheryl Lardy, $543.24. Mark and Shannon Hutchison, $1,556.88. Evan Patzer, $1,800. And Brandon and Ashley Beal, 7 IULs for $70,655.78. Gets me fired up. You're a winner, Brandon. Ashley, God, So fired up. All right, let's see here. All right, completed fast track for the week. All with one direct completed fast track. You got Keith Phillips, Mark and Shannon Hutchison, Monique Tatum, Noel Wilson, Rogers and Kim Straughter, Sam Howard, Alfonso. Oh, no, Sam Howard. That's with one. With two direct completed fast tracks. You got Alfonso Bell, Austin Heater, Brandon Keller, Erica Henderson, and then my base shop. And with 9 direct completed fast tracks last week, Brandon and Ashley Beal. You guys are on the warpath, man. I'm so proud of you guys. I'm so proud of you, man. And the way you guys fight through adversity and respond positively. That's the thing. Anybody can throw in the towel when adversity hits. Anybody can throw in the towel and do that. Anybody. I mean, that's what most people do. That's what most people have done. Me and Albright were talking about that earlier this morning. We're like scratching our heads like, why are broke people so fired up about quarantine? You see posts all over that's so fired up about quarantine. Broke people fired up about it. Get to stay home. It's like, I don't know about you. When I was broke, I stayed gone because there's no sense in hanging at the house, right? But when adversity strikes, that's what winners do. They go to work. They adapt the change. So proud of you guys, Brandon and Ashley, killing it. Enrolled in licensing last week with 1 direct enrollee in licensing. Austin Heater, Evan Patzer, Michael Cunningham, Eric and Cheryl Lardy. My base shop had 2 and Brandon Ashley had 3 enrolled in licensing. All right, completed contracts. Brandon and Ashley Beal, Lilith Borzotra, Gustavo and Mercedes Tehran. And my base shop all had 1 and Austin Heater had 2. So continuing to make things happen. We're going to leave it there with the numbers. But again, I know some of those were low because the e-app data does not come good from the carriers. So please, I just Friday by 10 a.m., shoot an email in. Let us know all the e-apps you're doing because that's the bulk of our work business now is e-apps. All right, let's go to my other 2 guests. Dinah Castile, can you turn your camera on? I'm going to turn mine off. I want to watch and listen. Tell us what you got going on. You are doing some things, making some moves, and you're talking like I like hearing you talk. You're like, let's get competitive again. I love it. So I'm gonna turn it over to you. Tell us where your mind and heart is.
Hey, Stephen. Thanks again for inviting me to be on this call. I know it's truly a privilege to be on here and talking to the team. Wow, man, I am so fired. Y'all can see my hair slipped back. I'm so fired up right now. I am happy to be able to talk to people. I got so fired up listening to Carrie Williams when she was doing the training on making calls, and then when she referenced the call that Alex Abian did, I went back and I listened to that, and just between the 2 of those, I feel like I'm looking at the top of my own. There we go. Ooh, that's a little better. I've been just really pouring in, listening to all the calls. And Stephen, the point that you made for us when we're talking to people and doing the calls, letting people know that, we're really trying to be more aware. And even though we're calling people from the homes because we're conscious of social distancing, and we're taking their well-beings into consideration, but also continuing to almost over-communicate with them, that really is important. I actually had a lady that I talked to just before I got on this call. She said that her son had reached out to her and asked her about her whether or not she had gotten her life insurance taken care of, and she told him that she had, and he asked her who she had called, and she told him that we had actually called her. And just in that one conversation, to know how much what we're doing is making a difference in people's lives, because this is something that is necessary now. People need this. They need it now. Our clients are knowing that they need to taken care of. Their families know they need to be taken care of. This is something that is important, not just now, but right now. And so we need to make sure that we're taking care of all these. I mean, there was a social media lead that I took care of with that. I've got the social media leads I'm taking care. I'm following up on. I've got leads that I'm getting from my DMR. I followed up from the call that Evan Patzer talked about. I sent out the text messages. I've got clients that are reaching out to me from that. I had somebody that responded to me from, it sent me a PM. She lost 40% of her retirement so far. And so we're getting together today. I've got 4 people that have responded to me wanting some information on IULs. Thank you very much, Brandon Beal. I am just responding to those. So, I mean, all of the information that we're getting from all of the different resources, it is really, really helping. And that's a huge thing. It's just making sure that we're plugging in, because all the tools that we're getting are really making it possible for us to be able to continue and help all of these different avenues. And so it's just, I'm so fired up. Like I feel like I'm just gonna bust, because we have the tools. We really are an essential part of what's going on right now, because people, they need us. They need us in so many different ways and so many different avenues. And I mean, this pandemic it has people worried, and they want to make sure that their families are taken care of. They want to make sure that their money is protected. And we can help to put a lot of their worries and their stresses at ease. And if we aren't doing our part right now, then, you know, why aren't we doing it is the biggest question. We have the ability to help these people to feel better in this time when they don't have control of a lot of things, but we can help them have control of at least as much of it. And that's what we need to do, is help them to at least have control of this. So I'm super fired up that we can help them have control of this. That's my story. I'm sticking to it.
I love it. I love it. I know you did over 10 apps last week. You got apps coming in today, annuities like crazy. I'm so excited. So proud of you. So proud of you. And here's the thing. Every crisis is when leaders introduce themselves. So look at what we've got going on. This is your opportunity to introduce yourself as a leader, or to reintroduce yourself as a leader. This is your opportunity. That's what we're seeing. That's what gets me fired up and get people on the call. Last, let's go to my buddy Jeremico. I'm telling you what, Jeremico, Andy and I were talking about you this morning. We're proud of you, dude. You're being vocal and visual, and that's what leadership is. It's got to be vocal and visual. So Jeremico, light us up, bud. Tell us where your mind and heart is at.
All right. Can you hear me clear?
Loud and clear, bud.
All right, bro. Man, oh man. Well, I'm sitting over here on fire because I know I had another 5,000 in e-apps, and I'm gonna send those over to you, man. So I don't know what number I was at, but I didn't hear my name at number 1, so I'm still like, I'm gonna be mad either way, so it don't matter. I'll just be mad the whole day. But so last week was a good week. Out of the Facebook leads that by the way, my name is Jeremico Edwards, Director Stephen Davies. I've been here about 10 years. And just fired up. Thank you, Stephen, for allowing me to talk to the team today. Last week, I had 2 Facebook leads that I was able to book over the phone, and I closed them. And I had the 1 final expense lead that I met with in person, and that was off of the leads. Now, last week, I didn't get my GMR field. I only got like 3 final expense leads. So I was able to close 1 of them, the other 2. Now, a couple of tips that I took away from the calls that I got this week was to book them. You know, when you're talking to them, you can start writing the application right then and there, or like you can start selling them right on the phone as opposed to rebooking them, because that's where I lost a lot of people at. So out of the 3 leads that I wrote last week, the rest of my business, out of the 11,000, the rest of it was warm market. So this week, I do plan on investing more into leads because my GMR was not getting filled. But the biggest thing I took away from last week and like this whole crisis, the biggest things I took away in you know, the week before was a bad week. So just so everybody know, like the week before, I only wrote like 4,000. My goal was 10,000, and I was trying to figure out some things. And so this week I actually hit my goal. And I figured out that when your mind is right, everything works. When your mind is wrong, nothing works. So the goal is to keep your mind right in the midst of all this stuff that's going on. These are learning times for all of us. Like we're all learning through it. We're all growing through this. We're all, we all want to step out as leaders. We all want to be a comfort to people. We can choose in this time whether we want to be an asset or a liability, right? So we can be an asset to the team by learning and helping people grow and by training. And we can give out our secrets. And we can just spend money and invest money to try and learn and help everybody. Or we could be a liability to the team. We can cry, moan, we can give up. We could be a liability. We could put our emotions on everybody else and tell everybody how hard of a time we're having. Or we can just learn with everybody else. So you choose. We can choose whether we want to be an asset or a liability. So I'm choosing to be an asset to the team. When I was looking at the leaderboards, right, I chose to make my own headlines, right, because in this world we live in today, right, it's a lot of clickbait. So if you're on this phone, if you're on this Zoom, and you're clicking on stuff on Facebook and Instagram that can mess your mind up, like you're clicking on the next, what's gonna happen next, who's gonna die next, if you're clicking on that stuff, you might as well just tell your family you're giving up on them. You might as well just tell your kids, I'm giving up. I'm gonna just sit and pop out. Like you might as well just say that. If you're clicking on that stuff and purposely messing up your mind, you're choosing to be a liability. What I'm choosing to do is create my own headlines. So my headline is more like this: Will Brandon Beal keep his spot at number 1? Find out next week, or find out in the next month. It's like will Jeremico issue pay $50,000 in the month of April? Let's find out. Like that. Like those are my headlines that I'm clicking on. So I don't know what headlines you're clicking on. It's like most of them made up anyway. So heck, I might as well just make my own headlines. But the difference is I can create my headlines. So if I go, hey, Jeremico issue paying $50,000 in the month of April, I can actually go out and create that. The other clickbait, I don't know if I can change that or not. I don't know what's going on. I remember last week I was sitting at about $5,600, and I was talking to my mother, and she said, Jeremico, you're not taking this virus seriously enough. I said, you know what? You're right. I went out and wrote another 5,000 because she was right. I wasn't taking it serious enough. I wasn't helping enough people. So now I said, you're right. I'm gonna help more people. I'm gonna take this virus serious, and I'm gonna help more people. It's like, no, I meant stay in the house and just hunker down. No, I can't do that. I'm a producer. I have to help more people. Just like the nurses can't stay home, I can't stay home. Just like the nurses can't give up and watch TV, I can't just watch TV. I have to help people, whether it's in the home or on the phone. I can't just hunker down and watch TV. Like, Stephen, I love how you were saying broke people love the quarantine. Like, that's true. Like, they are all for sitting down and doing nothing. And I'm a producer, so I can't do that. So I know there's a virus out there. I know what's going on. But what I have to do is I have to be an asset to the team. I have to be an asset to my children. And I have to be a producer, and I have to help as many people as possible. So my goal for this month is 50,000 issue paid. Do or die. I mean, because heck, what else you gonna do? Everything closed. It's like you got two options. You can work or you can watch TV. And I'm pretty sure all the movies you done watch, you done saw them all. So it's like, why watch them again? So let's just go out and make it happen to you.
I love it, dude. You got me fired up. Make your own headline. Make your own headlines. Write your own headlines. I don't love that. Most headlines out there are made up anyway, so you might as well write your own. Write a positive narrative, a positive script. I love it, man. And Jeremico, dude, I would get on those bang bang social media leads and tell him you'll take anywhere in the state of Michigan or anywhere you're licensed. And then you start getting them for $10. You can sit there all day and just crank out sales. That's what Lou Abadi's doing. That's what Andy Riddle's team's doing. That's why they were on the call last night or yesterday afternoon, because they're just cranking it out. So I'm so proud of all you guys. Thanks for sharing. I've got some stuff that I'm going to share as we wind down the call. But before I do that, just a couple other things. The Zoom show the plans that Andy's promoting, that's a recruiter's dream. I mean, 2 o'clock here in just a little bit, you got James and Jane Hill going to show the plan. You got Andy Riddle at 7. You got the carries on the West Coast at 10. I know I'm doing the 7 o'clock one tomorrow. I'm not sure who's doing the others, but Andy's going to keep doing that. It's a recruiter's dream. So on your recruiting days, you just file them in, just move them into the next meeting, next meeting, next meeting, next meeting, next meeting. I mean, it's a recruiter's dream. So light that part of it up too. All right. I think I got all that. So let's get going. Here's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about behavior, because it's how we behave that determines where we're going to go, right? What's going to happen is determined by what we do. Now, I want to hit you with a fact, and I'm going to say it and then let it sink in. Steady nerves are a learned behavior. Steady nerves are a learned behavior. How do I know that? Because the nature of humans is to panic. What do you think about, why do you think the toilet paper all disappeared? People panicked. Now they're sitting on mountains of toilet paper. I don't know what to do with it. I love it. I saw Costco's like not going to allow you to return it. I was like, awesome. Maybe they'll learn their lesson. No, the nature of the human is to panic. That's why you see the herd do. Is it people panic? So steady nerves are a learned behavior. It's something that you can learn to do. It's something that we have to not only learn, but continue to learn. And so what I want to hit today as we wind down the call, I've got 8 things. These are choices to make to help you develop steadier nerves. There's no such things as nerves too steady during a crisis. Nobody has ever been accused of that. He was way too calm under pressure. No, there's no such thing. So you and I both, we're doing great, and the team is doing so great. Holly and I are so proud of you guys. I can't tell you how, I was just talking with Holly earlier just about, you saw the numbers went in last week, and those aren't even accurate numbers. It was more than that. It was more than that. So I'm so proud of you guys. But let's work to get steadier and steadier, because here's what I know. This will pass. There'll be a period of relative calm, and there'll likely be something else. I can't remember who said it. It was on one of the calls that, hey, we were about due, right? We hadn't had anything major happen. And so we just have this crisis, move through it. This will pass, but there'll be another one. There'll be other situations in your life that will come up that will call on you to be a leader. They'll call on you and I to lead and have those steady nerves. So it's something, we're doing a great job of it, and I'm so proud. Let's continue. Let's build on that. Let's build on that very positive thing I've seen come out of the leaders on this team. So let's get going here. This is, when it comes to crisis, there's 3 things that happen. And this was from the founder of Intel. He was speaking on companies, but instead of companies, I want you to put, I'm going to read his quote, but put the word people in there. He said, bad companies are destroyed by crisis. Good companies survive crisis. Great companies are improved by crisis. Great people are improved by crisis. That's what I'm seeing on the team. That's what I'm seeing you do. And that's why my heart is just, I wish I could show you my heart right now. Just see how full this is of how proud I am of the team, of moving into this and going, no, we're not just going to survive this. We're going to learn new skills, and we're going to be better on the other side of it. And you're right. I forget who said it, but you have the ability to just sell all day, and recruit all day, all across both coasts, because you could get licensed in other states, and you got show the plans all throughout the day that you can drive people into all the way to 10 o'clock at night. So it's a powerful, powerful time to learn new skills, to break new barriers, to set new highs. And I'm not kidding about just take the whole state. Say, here's the amount of leads I want. I'll take them anywhere in the state. I'll tell you, we weren't thinking about that until the crisis. Didn't even enter our consciousness. Does that make sense? So great companies, great people are improved by crisis. You will be improved, though, based on how steady your nerves stay during times of crisis. So here's 8 things, 8 choices to make sure that you develop even steadier nerves. The first choice is you can choose to be objective. Choose to zoom out for a minute and be objective. When you really zoom out and you get objective, here's what comes back: perspective. Think about all the crazy things you said. all the crazy things me and you have done in our past. What happened? We lost perspective. We lost perspective. We didn't zoom out. Whatever offense, it was, or whatever bad thing that happened, and we just lost our crap, maybe even ruined a relationship over it. What happened? We lost perspective. So it's a choice to be objective about a situation. That's what brings perspective back. That's why I have a rule. My rule is I don't make decisions when I'm really angry or really happy. Why? Because at times when we're really happy or when we're really sad, we lose perspective. The key is to stay in that middle. And that's really what the heart of this stuff is talking about. What Andy Albright taught me a long time ago. You got two levels. This is too high. This is too low. This is running through the streets naked. This is jumping off a building. Andy taught me a long time ago, he said, Bo, you're always going to be up and down, but the key is to get tighter and tighter towards the middle, where the highs aren't as high and the lows aren't as low. That's at the heart of choosing to be objective and keep perspective. That's at the heart of that, is keeping you right here in the middle. It's never as good as we think. It's also never as bad as we think. We're never as good as we think during the great times. Oh, Lord, man, me and you have a breakthrough. I mean, we don't learn anything from that other than we're better than we even thought we were, right? We don't learn anything from that. We're too high. We also don't want to get too low. Because with your low times, you think you're worse than you are, but you're not. You're not. This is you. But when you're down here, you think you're worse than you are, but you're not. You're still an amazing person. Maybe you made a bad decision. Maybe just one of those breaks didn't go your way. Maybe somebody, messed you over. You're still an awesome person. So you're never as bad as you think, and we're never as good as we think. And that is choosing to be objective about the situation. Now, that will help with number 2. And I'll post these on the band, the 8 things. But really, let's take some time and chew on this, especially that first one, because if we don't do the first one, none of the rest will matter. In other words, keeping perspective and choosing to be objective about a situation, that's what will help us do the rest. So number 2 is to control emotions and keep an even keel. You and I can choose to control our emotions. Well, what if something happens and I'm just so upset hey, we in that moment, we got to choose to breathe. I hadn't said that in a while, but I've been saying it a lot lately. Breathe, dog, breathe. Just breathe. 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 And think about something else. That's really what Jeremiah was talking about with his headlines. See, if you feed yourself emotional garbage is going to come out. But when you choose to control your emotions, breathe, and then think about something else. Think about something that makes you happy. Think about something on the other side of this that we're going to do together. Andy Riddle and Andy Albright and myself were on a call earlier this morning just talking about, we got to make plans for the trips upcoming, because we are going to have to delay the Alaska trip. And so what do we plan around that? How do we make that work with the other things we got going on? There'll be so the sun will come up tomorrow, right? So in those moments when we're upset or frustrated or stressed or angry, any of those things, we can choose in that moment to breathe, get back in charge of our emotions, and be on that even keel. We can choose to do that. It's a learned skill though, remember? That's why I wanted to start the call off with steady nerves are a learned skill. It's not natural. The natural state of the imperfect human is to panic. That's why we can't find toilet paper to save our lives. Panic. That's the natural state of human. These things are choices we have to make, all right? Number 3, to choose to see the good in a situation. I wanted to reach through that Zoom call yesterday and just hug Chris Long. To choose to see the good in a situation, he said, all right, I'm going to fail fast. I'm going to attack, and we're going to communicate. The way he said it, and please go back and listen to that call, when the way he said it, I was like, God, I wish I could reach through and just hug this man. He chose to see the good in the situation. He said, you know what? I'm going to learn how to get good over the phone. I'm going to learn how to get good at telesales. I'm going to learn how to make this happen. And we're going to communicate. And I'm going to talk to Lou Abadi. And I'm going to talk to Riddle. And we're going to communicate. What a great example of leadership. Choosing to see the good in the situation. Not the forlorn, oh, the end is nigh. We'll never be able to. No. But he chose to see the good in the situation. That's a choice. That's a choice. Remember, the natural state of the imperfect human is to panic. Especially you get more than one imperfect human together, give them bad news. Yeah. But choose to see the good in a situation. Choosing to see that. I see so much good coming out of this on the other side. We're going to be, you understand, like, that's one of the things Albright and Riddle and I were talking about this morning. Like, dude, on the other side of this, how good we're going to be at new things that we never, ever, I mean, we never would have gotten good at those things. And then we'll have those new things we're good at, plus the old things will come back. Plus we don't know where this is going to go from here. Like, what other new stuff are we going to learn? When I'm on the phone with two men like that, I get off the phone, I'm just going, oh my God, this is awesome. Choose to see the good in the situation. Number 4, choose to steady your nerves. And people reach for vices a lot of times to try and steady their nerves. Choose to reach for the good stuff to steady your nerves. Read. Put something positive in. Andy Albright told me early on, he said, hey, Bo, here's the deal. I like you, so you're not allowed to quit or get discouraged. So anytime you feel something funny in your tummy, I want you to pick up the phone and call somebody yummy. Okay, what do you mean? And he's like, pick up the phone, call somebody that makes you feel good. Like, oh, just pick the phone up, call somebody that's going to speak positivity to me. That's going to tell me the sun will come up tomorrow. Yep, that's what I'm talking about, Bo. Awesome. So that's been my practice. Anytime I feel something funny, I pick up the phone and call somebody yummy. But choose to steady your nerves in that way. Breathe, take a minute. And this is whether it's a crisis like this, or maybe this never happens to you, or maybe your spouse did something that drove you crazy. Right? Choose to steady your nerves. All right. Number 5. This is a big, big, big one on your journey. To ignore what disturbs or limits others. Choose to ignore what disturbs or limits others. Every one of those leaders I had on the call, every one of y'all that's out there leading right now, you are such a powerful person in this world today because you're choosing to ignore what disturbs others. Anytime you want to move up, like Brandon Beal, what you're talking about being the number 1 overall in the entire alliance, I love it. Here's the secret to success. Listen for what makes the people that are currently bigger than you start to sweat. Listen to what makes them a little dodgy. Listen to what makes them a little uncomfortable. And then all you got to do is get your mind right that I can push through that. If that comes up, here's what I'm going to do. You can pass everybody. You can pass everybody. All you do is listen for what makes them cry uncle. Does that make sense? So come back to number 5. Ignore what disturbs or limits others. Look at what the rest of the world's doing. Ignore it. Ignore it. Might we need to work a little harder right now? Yeah, that's one of the things I talked about last week. Double down. Let's double down on the work ethic right now. But we're going to choose to ignore what disturbs or limits others. Those aren't our limits. Let me write this down. Remember this. Reality is negotiable. I've been at this 19 years. It'll be 19 years next month that I've been with Andy Albright. And I have come to embrace that concept at a level that I never before thought I would. Reality is negotiable. Look at what y'all are doing. Look at the numbers in the face of crisis. Reality is negotiable. All right, number 6 ties back in with number 1, to place things in perspective. When you place things in perspective, whether it be a one-time infuriating incident or a prolonged crisis like the one we're dealing with right now, choose to place it in perspective. When you place it along something that is a lot worse, it helps you have that perspective. Well, at least it's not fill in the blank. And by the way, zoom out. In the course of history, there's been some pretty terrible things that have happened. Yeah. When you zoom out and you put things in perspective, in their proper perspective, well, it makes it a lot easier to maintain that steady nerve and to not panic. Same thing. Let's go back to those flares of annoyance that happen. Your spouse does something that just infuriates you. Place it in perspective. Hey, in the course of their life, in the course of all the wonderful things they've done, all the ways they've made you feel loved over the years, when you place it in that perspective, well, it's just a small annoyance. It's just a small thing compared to the overall track record and trajectory. So now I'm not mad. Does that make sense? All right, steady nerves, steady nerves. Okay, number 7, we're almost through here. To revert to the present moment. Now you say, wait a second, might that hurt my perspective? Not if you've done the other things. Because to revert to the present moment is how you get to the question, what do I need to do now? What's next? What do I need to do now? That makes sense. We've gotten our mind right. We've collected our thoughts. We've put it in the proper perspective. We've chosen to ignore what disturbs or limits others. And then we zoom back to the present moment and say, what do I need to do now? What do I need to do now? I need to order social media leads and tell them we'll take a whole state, and I'm going to hammer down today. And there's some great tips on that call yesterday too, about taking quantities that you can work through because they start coming in fast. But reverting back to the present moment goes, what do I need to do now? Remember, it's action that is going to help you move through things, whether it's a crisis like this or on the other scale, a minor annoyance or even something that infuriates you. And then lastly, and this is why you got to revert to the present moment, to focus on what can be controlled. You heard the leaders talk about that. What are they focusing on? They're focusing on what they can control. And I would have loved to have everybody that led well so far through this crisis. I would love to have all of them on the call. The call would be 24 hours long because there's so many good examples right now. But that's what they're doing. They're choosing to control what they can control. You can't control the media. You can't control what will happen. You can't control how other people are going to behave. What can you control? You can control what you allow yourself to think, what you allow yourself to do. You can control that. You can control, hey, so now I'm going to learn how to get really, really, really good at telesales and doing e-apps. I'm going to get really, really good at that. I can choose to control that. That's what you're seeing the leaders do. And so you take all those 8 things and you put them together. That's how you develop steadier nerves. Remember, steady nerves is a learned skill. It's like developing a muscle. It's a learned skill. I'm so trying to think of a good way to phrase this. Knowing that Andy Albright's leading us through this gives me so much peace. Because over the 19 years that I've known him, I've seen him develop steady and steadier nerves. 2001 happened, onward, we got to move through this. When the subprime lending crash happened and the rest of the insurance world lost their mind, and he said, boys, get your buckets ready. On the other side of this, there's going to be a lot of money to be made. Steady nerves. That's not something that we're born with. It's something we develop. And that's what I'm so proud of the leadership on this team, guys. Holly and I are so proud of you. Let's keep keeping each other encouraged. Post your positive results on bands. Share, post, communicate. Remember, leadership is vocal and leadership is visual. And that's the message for today. Let's keep on. Let's use this opportunity to develop steadier nerves. Let's use this opportunity to grow. And I'm going to say the same thing Andy Albright said to me during the subprime lending crisis. Get your buckets ready. There's going to be a lot of opportunity on the other side of this. Love y'all. Have a good one.